So we're going to go into variations on the pyramid. So the first one is like this, where your hands are turned inward and your elbows are bent. And again, I want you to focus in on what would be an equal distribution of energy throughout the whole system, the tensional patterns. You can really widen your stance and use that widening of the legs and the counter pressure of the arms pressing into the thighs and knees to work with your back and how the back's held here. And see if you can find some kind of balance, like a cradle that the spine is kind of resting in. It should be kind of both restful and energizing, like there's a certain potency or power building up in your core. And then find what would be a nice place to hang and rest there. Okay, take a break. Whew. A good one. Do one more of those. And you can do this with a little bit of rocking this time. So a little right to left or front to back. Just to feel into a little bit of motion might also help you identify where the holding is. Where are the blocks in the tension field, in the energy field that might need a little coaxing here? Okay, just a little bit. So yeah, that was a few seconds of this one. Dr. Stone says 5 minutes of this energy exercise a day will really improve your health. So we're going to do a variation on the pyramid, which is again a nice wide stance, and we're going to use straight arms this time. So just to feel that you really can feel this dynamic tension between the forces going downward and upward, that you're pushing up with your arms and hands here. You're pressing down into your feet and through your legs. There's this upward, downward stretching almost of the energy. And we're also widening right and left and front and back. So it's like we're creating this sort of web of the body, tensional field being pulled in all directions, and then sense into the energy at the center. So try to bring some of the attitude you'd bring in a polarity session into these exercises, like listening for the energy. And I can feel some release around my hips. You might feel some release in your shoulders too. You can gently rock side to side or front to back. Great for the tailbone and the sacrum and the pelvic floor again. Okay, take a break here. These Polarity Yoga poses are really great for this bigger sense of balance between the shoulders and the hips, and kind of more of a whole body versus, for example, like the windshield wipers being especially good for kind of running energy through the lower half. This is kind of a great balancer for the whole body and the spine. Okay, we're going to do a variation again on that. So back into the pyramid. This time we're going to do a just slow twist. So feel into this twist, and anywhere you want, you can pause and see if something wants to release. And you can really look up at the ceiling. So get into the stretch and the twist of this and feel that tensional dynamic through the spine, through each side of the body, doing different things here. One shoulder pulling forward, one shoulder pulling backward. The thighs opening up in different ways. The hips involved here. What wants to let go? what wants to come more into balance and neutrality. Okay, and then come back to the center. You stand for a moment. Feel how that opens up one side of your body. Now let's do the other side. Just a slow turn. And really pause in places where you feel holding, because sometimes just stillness and listening and breathing in that place the body will gently let it go. Effortless effort. We don't want to skip over the tension patterns. We'll give them room to release. And then keep playing with the stretch and the edge. There's micro motion differences you can do. Maybe even if you move your eyes, for example, along the ceiling to a different spot, you'll get a different stretch on your neck. So feel into and follow where the body's showing you that it wants to go to get a little bit more of a stretch. Okay. And then come back. And really opens the side body too in a nice way. I feel much more upright and chest open and lifted. Can help release tension in the neck and shoulders as well. Just want to show one more variation of this pyramid. So if we go again, looking over your shoulder on the right, and then you can also just look straight ahead. That's going to give a little different counter stretch on your neck, right? So one is looking over your shoulder up at the ceiling, and position two would be looking straight ahead. Different stretch on your neck. And then you could even continue that and look over your lower shoulder if you wanted to do a different counter stretch on your neck. Okay. Really good for opening up the throat and neck. Dr. Stone recommends this for singers who might have tense throats. Okay, we'll do that on the other side this time. So again, looking over your shoulder up at the ceiling, open both shoulders, allow them to stretch, and then looking straight ahead. Feel how the neck is there. Is there anything in the neck in this position that wants to release? Give it room to release. You might have to adjust your posture a little bit. And then look over your lower shoulder so you're giving even more of a stretch to the neck. Okay. Great. There's a lot of reflexes around the thighs that relate to the neck and throat. We're going to talk about that more in a few minutes, but this opening and stretching down here and simultaneously stretching up here can have a pretty big impact you might be feeling.